Welcome back for some more Chicago White Sox. And it is draft day. Things are going to be a little different for this episode. Probably not going to do any showcases. Might make some moves at the trade deadline. Don't know yet. But we're starting off with this draft for sure. All right. And we're going to go over our top three of who we want. First up is Lou Richardson. Given that he's projected number five by our scouts, I think he's going to be on the higher end of his rating. So I'm thinking maybe mid 60s overall, high B to low A potential, and he has everything you want in a pitcher, in my opinion. Even comes with a five pitch mix, very high fastball, solid curve, slider that's going to be very difficult to hit in my opinion with that kind of speed. And then that changeup's even going to have a little oomph on it. So this is like number one. Now I could try to get him at pick 40 because we got pick number 10 and then pick 40 in the second round. But I think that's pushing it. I feel like if anyone's discovered him, he's going late first round for sure. So this may be our number one pick. And typically in the past, I, discovery players I try not to take with the early first round picks because you can usually get them in the second round or late first round if you have additional picks. I just don't think that's going to be the case for us here. So Lou Richardson is probably going to be our number one. In terms of positional players, though, Sean Duran kind of fits the bill. Solid contact guy, really good arm strength for a second baseman. Can also play shortstop for us, even though we have Colson Montgomery. Going to be kind of like that leadoff guy for us with a little bit of speed, decent stealing. I think he's going to be in the middle of his projections here. Low 60s overall, mid 60s at best. Probably low B potential. So not a whole lot of room for growth, but probably could be really quick. Maybe 1 year in the minors, and then he could probably get called up for some spring training and maybe another year in AAA. I don't know. But this is kind of our top position player, or our last guy in the top three, I should guess I should say, for who we want to take at 10. I know he's projected at 20, but I mean he's going to come with guaranteed high B, low A potential based on what our scouts found. I know we have him ranked 20th. I think that's just because of all the discovery we made with pitchers that kind of pushed him back. I I don't know if I'll change my mind and take this gentleman here. Looks like he's gonna be a very solid catcher for us. Got a little pop off the bat. Contact might be a little weak, but he kind of fits exactly what you expect out of a catcher. But I don't know that we'll take a catcher at the 10 pick. We have some prospects already at catcher. Probably wait to see how they turn out. I don't see this as a guy we're gonna go after. I don't even know that he'll make it to us at 10. But if for whatever reason all three guys are gone, list goes kind of as follows. We got Johnny Gramling here. To me, not near as good as Lou Richardson. I feel like we get more out of Lou Richardson. Similar profile though in terms of the per nines. You're gonna get probably a high B potential out of him, mid 60s overall to start. He'll get to the majors really quick, couple years maybe tops. Four pitch mix. He's got a pretty decent fastball, not near as fast as Lou Richardson, but something we can work with. Runs a circle change and a slider. Not a bad combo of pitches. So he is our number four guy. And then our fifth and final option, if everyone's gone, is going to be Cristobal Reyes. Similar to Gramling, you're looking at high B potential probably. Going to be a little bit lower on the overalls if I had to guess, though. I'd probably say he's going to be like 60 overall starting out. But he's 18, time to develop. My biggest concern with him is his hits per nine and his home runs per nine. I feel like they're going to be mid 30s, and that's just not great. You're going to have to really train those up. But he's got really good walks per nine. Stamina's a little bit to be desired for a starting pitcher, but it is what it is there. And then he doesn't really excel in pitch control, velocity, or break. Comes with a 3-pitch mix. We would probably end up adding a pitch to him. I don't really like to edit players, but pitchers, especially young ones, I don't mind adding a 4th pitch in this scenario, especially for a starting pitcher. If he was a reliever, I'd probably leave it at a 3-pitch mix. And then the only other time I'd probably edit a player is like a rookie of the year that has like low potential and it doesn't go up after he wins the award, whether it's my team or another team. I might bump that up a couple just because I feel like that would, work. That's kind of how that needs to be. But that pretty much is our top 5. Hopefully, I can get one of our top 3 at that 10 spot. And I got a couple other guys down here that I'm kind of looking at for our 2nd pick. We'll see if anybody falls. Some discovery guys. And we'll take a quick look at them. You got Joaquin Nunez here. Really low walks per 9. That's why he's not very high on my board to be considered for number 10. Everything else looks pretty decent. Another guy that's going to have, low B to low A potential. I like where he'd start out overall wise. Couple years in the minors, let him build up. 4-pitch mix, got some oomph on his 4-seam. 2-seam's a little slow in my opinion, but that slider is really fast. I think it'd be a good combo because the 2-seam and the slider pair well together, and they're going to be about the same speed, so I feel like that would help him in pitching. And then of course a changeup. Ronnie Wills was another guy that we thought might be better than this. I think he's going to have low B potential, probably a 60 overall kind of look about him. He's got really good per 9s though. Solid 4-pitch mix. Looks like he's a break guy. Yeah, pitch break is going to be what he excels at. Solid slider, 4-seam in the 90s. That's always good to have. But his sweeping curve is probably going to be his strikeout pitch with the kind of break he's got. And then Charlie Burnett, guy projected to go later in the draft. Our scouts have him at number 6, though he's not fully scouted. That's what makes me hesitant about him. I feel like he might fall just a touch. Everything but his walk per 9s are good, which is great if we're like showcasing them because I feel like that would help. But in sim, walks per 9 tend to be a problem if they're low. We could probably get that trained up, but there's another pitch break guy. Solid fastball, solid sinker right there, changeup and curveball. I feel like he should have something else that has a really good break to it. I don't know that I would, if we draft him, I don't know that I would add a 5th pitch to him. Something like a sweeper or a different kind of curveball. Maybe a slider. He's pretty low on my priorities. And something else I like to look at, especially before the draft. Sometimes I try to catch it during like the scouting period, is try to find a 2-way player. And I don't see any pitchers so far that are be 2-way, which is unfortunate. I always like to try and find one. Sometimes I might take them a little early, see how they pan out. It's just someone fun archetype to kind of get. Without further ado, we're going to get this draft started. We will probably kind of let the clock, like, obviously we'll do the first 3 picks, but then I'll let 4 through 9 picks so that we can kind of do it. But once we make our first selection, we'll probably just sim right to our next pick. And then we'll kind of see where some of the guys we have on our board kind of go. And then I'll try to showcase who I'm hoping to get with my next pick after each pick. But let's get into it. And with the first pick, the Washington Nationals take Cristobal Reyes. So that's one of our backup plans already off the board. Next selection by the Angels, a guy we didn't even scout because we knew we were going to get him. Lincoln Mangles, first baseman. Taken by the Mariners, another center fielder. We liked what he looked like projection-wise, but I didn't think we were going to get him. I didn't waste any time trying to scout him. Colorado Rockies are up next. Let's see who they take. So far, our top 3 choices are still there. And they take Corey Jones. Let's take a quick look at him. This is a guy our scouts said was not going to be good, so we'll definitely look into that. See how he kind of turned out. See if our scouts lied to us, but possibly a big bust by the Rockies. Sean Duran, our second baseman, goes to St. Louis. Be a good pick for him. It's probably the only person that was going to stop me from taking our number one guy. Fuentes is another guy that he got scouted. I really liked him. I just knew we weren't going to have a shot at getting him. David Harrison, a guy we scouted, he fell off pretty hard. Kind of surprised he went this high. Somebody scouts are lying to him. And there goes the catcher we were looking at. So that only leaves one choice for us. It's like Michael Rowe ended up getting picked by Cincinnati. We didn't even scout him. I was shocked that he didn't go higher, as he was projected number one by everybody. But that just means that we get to select our guy, Lou Richardson. Happy to have him. Probably took him a little early. If pitching wasn't such a dire need for us, I may have tried to get him with the next set of picks. There was nobody else that I liked at this spot. If we would have drafted higher, possibly would have went Sean Durham. But we will definitely. I'm a little worried he opted out of the doctor's exam, but hopefully that won't come back to bite me. I really like what I saw from the scouts on this guy. With our next pick, I would really like to give Velasco. I just don't see him falling to 40. He's projected 21 across the board. Really solid first baseman here. Another discovery player for us here was center fielder Brandon Shelley, but he can play left and right as well. This guy is not really good at the plate, but really good defensive player. And since I took a pitcher with our first pick, I'd really like to get a positional player. Joe Ridley's another guy that we discovered. He's a first baseman. Probably not going to be someone that develops to be great. It's going to be your average player. Probably a high C potential at best. He probably won't get much better, but he's really good at the plate. And he's not good in the field defensively, but we don't need that out of a first baseman. So I feel like he'd be a good piece for us to add. And then Alejandro Salez, high potential. He's probably going to come in very low in the overall, but a guy that can develop in the minors. He's going to have low contact. I feel like his power could be something that we build on, but this is going to be a guy we train at the plate. He's already good defensively. We just need to bring his plate skills up. So far, coming in here at the 27th pick, nobody that we're kind of looking at, even our three pitchers. I want to say some of our pitchers that we looked at have already come off the board. Not seeing any of that pop out, though. But Nunez is still available, Ronnie Wills, and Burnett. They may fall to us at the 40th pick, but I really want to try and grab one of these positional players at that 40th pick. So unfortunately, Steve Velasco would not make it to 40. He fell all the way to 35. I thought for a second he might make it to us, but unfortunately, it's not going to be the case. And with that being said, we have to decide now between Brandon Shelley, Joe Ridley, or Alejandro Salez. And I know we have Luis Robert Jr. at center field, but I feel like Brandon Shelley would be a good piece to add here, especially since we definitely need position. I don't want to go all pitchers this draft. I feel like this might be who we need to take. It's a bit of a jump, but the alternative here is to take a pitcher. I'm just not high on taking a pitcher right now because we just took one. This is an interesting guy right here, though. He's going to have super high potential, but I feel like we can grab him later. And with the 40th pick, we are going to take Brandon Shelley. A little bit of a reach. Might have been able to get him later, but again, like I said, we have a lot of pitchers down the line that we can pick to kind of help fill us out. I feel like right here, we definitely need to go with a positional player. And as fate would have it, we have the ability to kind of, one of our pitchers did go. I'll try to find him after this pick, but we can go with Joe Ridley at first base or Alejandro Salez with right field. This is tough. This is tough indeed. I honestly didn't think either one of them would make it here. I feel like I got to go with Joe Ridley here because we went defensively with the last pick. I need somebody that's also going to have a little pop at the plate. We're going to gamble on Joe Ridley right here in the third round. Low potential, I know, but I feel like this is be a good piece for us early on, especially with the fact that we don't have a whole lot. And I don't know how active we're going to be in free agency. So here we are at pick 107, and unfortunately, Salez would not fall to us. I thought I might be able to grab him in the fourth round, but it seems somebody else discovered him. So now we're going to look at Nunez, Wells, and Guerrero. And I feel like Nunez probably. God, it's so hard. I really don't like his walks per nine. Makes me super hesitant on him. Guerrero's got a lot of potential though, but I don't know if he's worth a fourth round pick. I feel like I can get him in the fifth. Hopefully, anyways. We're going to roll the dice on Joaquim Nunez. 21 years old, ranked 12th by our scouts. Probably going to have high B, low A potential. Probably sitting right around a 60 to 63 overall, if I had to guess. Can't wait to see how accurate I am. I got pretty good in the last one with this kind of stuff. Alejandro Salez would go to Pittsburgh with the 84th pick, so he didn't make it much further after our draft pick. So pick 137, we got Ronnie Wells, and we got Guerrero. I'm kind of leaning towards Guerrero here. I know he's going to be low overall, but he's going to have high potential. His per nines are in a pretty decent spot for this area. Stamina's really low, though, and that bothers me. He is going to be a pitch break guy, though. And he's got a pitch mix here that really complements that, in my opinion. Everything kind of has a break to it. He is right-handed, too, though. I don't have a whole lot of lefties. And Ronnie Wells is a lefty, and he has higher stamina. Also rated higher by our scouts. I feel like the safer pick here at 5 is Ronnie Wells, but you get more upside with Guerrero. We're going to go with Ronnie Wells. I had already make a pick. We're running out of time. If Guerrero's there at the 6th pick, I'll probably take him. So with our last pick, we get all of our options here. Brad Guerrero, project piece for sure. Low stamina. Don't know that we'll ever get that up. He may end up being a reliever for us with that kind of stamina. Ozzy Rodriguez, another project piece. Medium stamina. Home runs per nine is awful, though. Lloyd Rowe here, bullpen arm for us. Only halfway scouted, though, but I mean, he looks good for a relief arm. And then another positional player. Not super high on this guy. Looks like he's decent at the plate, but he's going to come on the low side of all of his projections, most likely. He probably have super low potential. I think Brad Guerrero is the pick here. For our first draft, I think I need somebody that has that level of potential. And then if our scouts are misleading me on any of these guys, we might be making some scouting changes. So in our first signing period, as you see, everybody's up. We got all of our pitchers signed. Just the 2 positional players we drafted didn't like our initial offers. At this point in the season, we're looking at trades, potential trades, whatever the case may be. Bryce Wilson getting destroyed at the mound. So is Davis Martin. Drew Thorpe, though, absolutely killing it. Probably going to get bumped up to AAA. We may try to trade one of our pitchers, and then we'll obviously call up somebody to replace him. Probably a Kyle Busch. He's doing decent at the AAA level. Drew Thorpe has started to develop well. So the question becomes, do we leave him in Double A or do we bump him up to AAA? But all of our pitchers at the major league level have not been doing good. Looks like a catcher. Our minor leagues are way better than our major league, but I really want them to develop. Might give one of these gentlemen a call up in September. This team's going to look completely different next year. I didn't do a whole lot of editing to the 40-man roster. I'm starting to think that might have been a mistake. Sosa here is doing really well. Got a couple of guys we might try to get rid of here. Shortstop Colson Montgomery, he'll probably be called up in September. Doing really, really well at the AAA level. Luis Robert Jr. is having a little bit of a resurgence here late in the season. Love to see it. Was contemplating on whether or not we needed to keep him around. He's improving everywhere. His power against lefties is going down, but everything else seems to be kind of going up. Dropped a little bit in speed. We still got him for 2 years. Might hold on to him for at least another year. Feel like it'd be an exciting piece to rebuild around. And then yeah, we about to send some of these guys on their way though. Taking a look at the trade block here, and it looks like really nice right fielder here in Lawrence Butler is available. I think we might try to make a move for this young man. That's another thing with trades. I'm not going to try and do any cheesy trades. Take advantage of the computer. If I make a trade and you feel it was a little cheesy, drop a comment. Let me know. But I definitely don't want to try to make outrageous trades that wouldn't be accepted in real life. But I'm not super familiar with Major League Baseball. I just recently got back into it, so I'm a little rusty on what is and what isn't in the realm of possibility. This is kind of what I got cooked up for someone of Lawrence Butler's caliber here. We're going to send Davis Martin, not having the greatest year, but not mistaken, the Athletics are also abysmal at pitching, and they got some guys that just haven't been performing well. I think Martin's going to come in a little bit better than some of them. But we're also going to send one of our prospect pitchers. So I feel like that'd be a big selling point for someone like the Athletics is Noah Schultz. I intended on keeping Schultz. It was kind of up there with Drew Thorpe in my opinion, but I feel like realistically we would have to give up some kind of decent pitching prospect here. And then first baseman Joey Gallo, not on our 40-man roster, 31 years old, see potential. I don't foresee him staying with us that long. First base is a huge need for the Athletics, so I feel like this kind of evens out that trade, even though they have some young prospects. But Joey Gallo is a little bit more MLB ready. So that's going to be our first trade. It's going to be for Lawrence Butler. Another thing I'm kind of doing here is only people on the trade block are probably who I'm going to go after. Probably won't fish for too many trades unless I'm just trying to like offload a contract, maybe pick up some prospects. We'll kind of see how it goes, but we just traded off a pitcher. We got a couple guys here that kind of pique my interest. Shane Baz and Brady Sinker kind of popped to the front here. I really liked him. Shane Baz has the more friendly contract, but you also have Edward Cabrera. I don't really know who I want. Got another 3-for-1 deal right here for the Rays. They wanted a left field. We're going to send Andrew Benintendi. Not having a bad year. Probably help them out a little bit more. Also, it's not a contract I want to be a part of. Something from the old regime, if you will. But to kind of make this deal happen, I did have to send one of our promising young players here, Lynn Sosa. I didn't really want to do that. I really wanted to keep him at second base, but to make this deal happen, I kind of had to do that. And then to push the deal over the top, they wanted a catcher. We got a catcher right here, Matt Thais, or Thais, however you say his name, having a really good year at the plate. I can't believe I'm gonna let him go. I planned on keeping him for at least another year or two, throughout his arbitration. But it's again, sometimes you got to make these kind of deals. Not super happy about what I'm giving up to get Shane Baz, but I feel like Shane Baz has got some potential. He'll be there, and then we got Drew Thorpe coming up with him, and that'll help him out. So you're looking at having Shane Baz as your ace, Drew Thorpe behind him, and then probably in a couple of seasons, Lewis Hamilton. But we'll see how that all kind of turns out. And then to kind of follow it up, I need a left fielder now. Javier Encarnacion, 70 overall, low potential guy, but I feel like he could fill that need for us for time being. We're going to send Juan Carlila and Mike Talkman for him. I feel like San Francisco might be getting one over on me here, but we are in desperate need of a left fielder after the recent trades. Our new pitching rotation here is going to be Shane Bass. Hopefully he's ecstatic to be a White Sox now. Don't know how he feels about it, but I feel like he's going to be a very valuable piece to us, but he's going to be our leadoff guy now. Bryce Wilson falls to that number 2 spot for us. Jonathan Cannon, who's a bit of a cold streak, is going to be our 3, and then Martin Perez and Jake Eder bringing up the rear. Trades also led to some corresponding moves that go with that. Kyle Till's going to go ahead and make his major league debut for us here. We added him to the 40-man roster. I just wasn't comfortable going with Corey Lee for the rest of the year. He's hitting below the Mendoza line. It just hasn't looked great in my opinion. So kind of want to bring in somebody to rotate out with him. Edgar Cueto is going to stay at the AAA level. No big changes at first base other than Tim Elko got the bump up to AAA just because we needed somebody at AAA after we shuttered off some guys. Second base, we went out and signed Jose Iglesias to a 1-year deal for pretty much to finish out this year because we traded our second baseman away. And I was not comfortable having Vargas be our second baseman. So depending on how he finishes the year, Jose might get a 1-year extension. We'll see. Third base is going to stay Rojas. We made some minor league bumps just based off how some guys were playing. Shortstop, Brooks Baldwin is going to stay the major league guy. I want Colson Montgomery to continue to develop. Left field, Encarnacion is going to be our guy. He's doing really well at the plate. It's kind of why we went after him. Kind of a, how do you want to put this? Low risk, high reward type move here. Not going to be a guy that probably develops well. But he's going to fill a need for us until we get somebody that we like there. Zach DeLoach got a bump up to AAA. He was killing it in AA. So went ahead and gave him the bump. No changes at center field. I think we just rearranged some guys. Tatum got a call at the AAA. And then to fill his spot, Brady Montgomery got bumped up to AA. Right field, our big trade acquisition here, Lawrence Butler, pretty much revamped our outfield. Even though we drafted some outfield guys, I felt like Lawrence Butler was too good to pass up on that trade block. And then Austin Slater's going to back him up. He hasn't been doing too bad at the plate. No major changes to the pitching rotations at the minor league levels. Let's get us a lineup set, shall we? Follows, probably for the remainder of the season, Jose Iglesias against right-handers is going to lead off for us. Encarnacion is going to be our number 2 guy. Luis Robert at 3. Lawrence Butler right there at number 4. You got Rojas, Vaughn. Put Austin Slater in as DH. Kyle Till is going to get the starts at catcher. He's better at the plate than Corey Lee is, even though Corey Lee is better behind the plate. So, trading a little bit of defense for a little bit of offense. And then Brooks Baldwin's going to be batting at the 9. Left hand, similar. Encarnacion's going to lead off, and Iglesias will be the number 2 there. They swap, and then Lawrence and Robert Jr. swap at the 3 and 4 there. Andrew Vaughn at the 5. Slater is going to be our 6, and then Kyle Till, Rojas, and Baldwin are going to fill at the bottom of that lineup against lefties. So now we're going to get to September, or we're going to get into August. Hopefully I can get these 2 position guys kind of signed, and then we'll see what we did in the draft. Here we go, kind of exactly what we expected here. Lou Richardson comes in, potential's a little bit lower than what we anticipated, but we did anticipate a high B, low A potential. He was not injured. His pitching clutch is a little low. Probably what we're going to start out working on with him. Everything else, though, is pretty solid. Might end up working on his durability as well, though. And then Brandon Shelley, glad we went and got him. 90 potential, 62 overall. This guy is a beast defensively starting out. And we're going to be working on his hitting Don't know that he's ever going to be super great at the plate, but he is going to serve well defensively for us. Joe Ridley, first baseman here. Exactly what we thought we were going to get. A lot better in terms of power against lefties than we initially thought. Didn't expect to get a 72 out of that, but that 77 potential is going to hurt. We'll see kind of how he develops. We knew it was a risk taking him, but we took him anyways. But honestly, his potential is kind of right where we thought it would be. Nunez, similar beat. Them walks per nine are absolutely atrocious. Don't know how well he's going to do in sim, but his velocity and stamina. His stamina is a little bit higher than I anticipated. I thought his stamina would be a little bit lower. It came on the higher end of those projections, I think. 85 potential is about where I thought he would be. Didn't miss too bad there. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, guys. But I think I remember saying mid B, high B at the best. Ronnie Wells, probably going to be starting working out on his per nines. He's going to be a break pitcher for us. That potential is a lot lower than I thought it was going to be, though. I was hoping for a low B, mid B. That kind of hurts a little bit. That's also why we didn't want to take him any earlier than we did. But I think he might be a good bullpen arm for us for a while, anyways. I don't foresee him ever cracking the starting lineup for pitchers. And then Brad Guerrero, exactly what we thought we were going to get. That low stamina, though, kind of hurts, but it is what it is. But that high potential is why we took him. This is a project piece for sure. And this is a guy that I think that will develop. He'll be in the minors for a while, but this is a guy we'll kind of bring along. We don't even get to September call-ups, and Drew Thorpe is going to be out for 2 to 3 months with a fractured hand. Hate to see it. So here we are at September call-ups. Lawrence Butler in a bit of a cold streak, but overall he's done really well. May go ahead and give him some kind of contract. I don't know. We'll have to see what he's thinking. Shane Baz not looking too bad. I'm curious how many of these is his ERA up so high because of fielding. Yeah. I don't think it's all his fault. I think it's just a weak defense behind him. Bear Jr. is doing really well at the plate. Can't complain there. Bryce Wilson on a bit of a hot streak. Good to see. Drew Thorpe's still injured, unfortunately, so he won't be able to get bumped up or a call up like we had planned. Possibly. We'll see how he does in the spring. He should be good by the spring. We'll see. If he does good in the spring, we'll go ahead and call him up. Encarnacion doing exactly what you expect him to do. Doing way better than I anticipated, though, especially at that leadoff spot. Jose Iglesias flirting with the Mendoza line. Don't know that we'll be giving him a callback. I mean, he's in full regression. Still a good contact guy, though, but man, that's nothing. I forgot to check quirks to see if any of our guys got quirks. Remember to do that in the offseason when we can look at him again. Colson Montgomery's on a bit of a cold streak, but he's killing it at AAA. I think I'm going to go ahead and give him a call up for the spring. I think that's just what you need to do because he's probably going to start for us next season. Even if he's going to be more of a long reliever for us, we'll see what he kind of does. Go ahead and give him a call up. The only pitching rotation change we're going to make is we're just going to put Kai Bush in the rotation, starting rotation. Move Perez over to long reliever. He has not been doing well at the plate. Then again, I think a lot of these ERAs are inflated by our poor defensive effort. As you can see, we rank 30th overall, 26th in contact, 28th in power, 10th in speed, though. We're a fast team, and 22nd in defense, and our pitching is 30th, so like nothing really crazy. I think that's what we're going to roll with for September, and then we'll kind of go over how everybody did. That's going to bring us to the end of the season. We finished 65 and 97. Absolutely terrible. Last in the Central. I think the Marlins are the only team that did worse than us. Yeah, the Marlins are the only team that did worse than us. I just went through it and looked real quick. We had the absolute worst batting average, 30th there, at 233 average. Came in 27th on runs, though, so that's not bad. 30th in hits, which is atrocious. 30th in doubles. Pretty much at the bottom for all of these stats. Home runs, though, we did 24th. So So that's not bad, I guess, considering what we have on the roster. RBIs, 27th. Stolen bases, though, we are 18th, so we were pretty decent at stealing bases. We're tied for 7th for getting caught stealing, so that's not bad. We're 9th for stolen base percentage, so we're pretty good at stealing bases. 24th in drawing walks, 24th in strikeouts. It's rough. Our slugging percentage was 30th. On base percentage was 29th. 20th in errors, so maybe the defense wasn't as bad. Maybe the pitching was just as bad. We'll see. Yeah, 18th in fielding percentage. I mean, all of this could be better, but it's a lot better than I thought we were doing defensively. I figured we were to the bottom, and it was kind of inflating the ERAs of our pitchers, but I don't think it was. They were 29th in ERA. So our ERA is lower than what I don't know how much of it was defense and how much of it was just pitching. And the Yankees would win the World Series. We had no Hall of Fame inductees and then no retirements either. Exclusive free agents, though. I mean, is it worth it to bring in back Jose Iglesias? He didn't do well at the plate. I think we let him. I think he served his 1 year purpose. We're gonna let Michael Taylor walk as well. Austin Slater. I really liked him playing at the DH. We might need him. Let's see if we can get him on a cheap deal. 1 year, 3.3 million. I don't think that's bad for someone we're gonna put at the DH. See if he likes that. See what he does there. And then, yeah, pretty much everybody else we're going to kind of let walk. I'm not interested in keeping any of these guys. They're all in progression in their mid-30s already. I just, for a rebuild, I don't think it's beneficial to keep them. I do have to bring in a first baseman, though. And I'm going to see if I can find anybody I like. Kind of like Tigers right here. Marino's not bad either. Get a fielding boost, durability boost, speed boost, stealing boost. It works well with kind of what we do. I think we offer Marino. He wants a 4 year, 2 to 4 years, 1.1 million. I'm gonna offer him 1.4 a year at 4 years. A little bit on the higher side. I always want. I feel like I gotta compensate for us being a bad team. Looks like his interest level is gonna be all the way up. We'll see how that kind of pans out for us. And he would take our first base option there, or our first offer to be our first base coach. I'm looking at the rest of these coaches. It's just I don't think it's worth right now, anyways. Getting rid of guys. I don't know. I don't want to keep many of these guys. Our farm director's good, and Marino's good. Third base isn't bad. We're just taking too many hits in certain areas. I think we're just gonna let these contracts expire naturally. Went through and kind of adjusted our 40-man roster. Add some guys, take some guys off. Gonna kind of see how all that pans out for us. First contract offer here. I don't know that I want to offer him a big long-term contract right now. We still have arbitration. I may just offer him arbitration. He's looking for a massive deal. I'm just not ready to give that to him. Arbitration, we'll offer him 2.25. I feel like that's fair for right now. We got 1 more year of arbitration with Bryce Wilson. I think I'm going to use it because I don't know if he's part of our long-term plans right now. He's looking for a pretty. I'm not willing to pay him 11.6 million over 5 years. It's just not in the cards. The arbitration deal right here, we'll do 1.55. Murphy is in full-on regression. Just I don't feel like going for a closer right now. We could probably do better, but I think we're gonna roll with him 1 more year. I'm up to $1 million. This right here's a guy I wanted to get on the 40-man roster. I just couldn't do it. I had to put somebody on waivers. I just wasn't comfortable with it. I just added him to the 40-man roster, and he's gonna be a bullpen arm for us for sure. And may serve as a closer for us. I don't know yet, but we're gonna definitely utilize the arbitration period here for him. See how he does. That'll determine if we give him a contract or not. Andrew Vaughn didn't do bad. Didn't do great. Can't be sitting here on this too long. There's a lot I need to do to kind of keep this episode within the time period of what I wanted to do, but I feel comfortable. I just I don't think that's a bad deal for Andrew Vaughn at first base right now. Not a huge fan of 5 years. May do three. May do 3 years. 3 years at 5.3, 16 million. I feel like that's the move there for him. But also, just to be safe, we'll offer him a little bit of arbitration, 1 year deal. Josh Rojas, we got 1 year of arbitration left with him. It's just I'm not willing to pay him that much money over 5 years. Still think it's worth it. Arbitration, 4 mil. Justin Anderson pretty much played all AAA ball for us. I'm just gonna let him walk. I'll find another closing pitcher. Just not somebody's part of our long-term plans. Steven Wilson, just another guy. I don't see him sticking around. I don't know. I need the bullpen arms though. Yeah, we'll arbitration. 8.5. Or 850,000. Another bullpen arm. He's in regression though. Terrible ERA right there. This is tough. I think we're gonna do it. Arbitration only. Borges, you need to be in the minors. I'm not offering you. You're not worth that. You're just not. But beggars can't be choosers, I guess. Try not to fill so many holes in our lineups. Lawrence Butler didn't do as well as I wanted him to do. It's just the way it is. Though I don't know why it has Toronto as his team. He played for us. I think we're just gonna renew his contract this year. Bump him up to a mil. Drew Thorpe, another guy we're just gonna renew the contract on. What I've kind of decided to target here in free agency is get us a new second baseman to fill the void we left there with the trade, and then possibly a third baseman. Outfield, I'm kind of good with right now. Starting pitching, I'm good with the prospects we brought in. I'm good with Andrew Vaughn at first base. Closer is not really, like, to me, closer, relief pitcher, kind of the same thing, bullpen arm. And then we're really young at catcher. I don't want to sign anybody. Strom, who was reliever of the year, possibly not a bad pickup for us. So he's 34, though, and he's not really going to be benefiting playing for us. I feel like it's a waste to go after him, just on the simple fact that he's going to be out of his prime more than likely by the time he's relevant to us, and I might be able to get somebody. I don't know. He's the best reliever on the board, though. We got a few good options, though. Chad Green, maybe. Pomeranz is a guy we could possibly bring on. I may look at relievers later. Second baseman's got a couple guys that really pique your interest. I don't think it's worth going after these guys. This wouldn't be a bad addition for us. 2 year deal, 12 million each year. We do need a second baseman. He plays multiple positions. He could kind of fill a big void for us. Really well at the plate too. I don't know. This is tough. This is tough. All-star, really good against lefties. I think this is somebody we might actually. I think we're actually going to pursue this. Third base. It's tempting, but I mean, there's just not a whole lot of good options. Enrique Hernandez, though, can play anywhere on the field. He is 34, though. I mean, he's not asking for a whole lot. I think this is the third baseman you kind of go after to fill out. I think just to be safe, we need to kind of get us another third baseman, potentially. Dylan Moore here can play multiple positions, hitting below the Mendoza line of the year, though. Not great at the bat. Really good defense, though. I think this is going to be, I think this is what we're gonna roll with. Unfortunately, I do not. I mean, he's better than Colson Montgomery right now, but 5 years, I'm not willing to do that. So we've made a lot of progress on our guys here. I think we're going to actually go after Luis here. We're going to offer him the contract that he wants. That's what we're going to offer. Made the first competitive offer on a top 25 free agent. It's not bad. It's not bad. I like that. I'll tell you what, we're going to go ahead and offer Hernandez as well. I'll hold off on Dylan Moore just right now. Contract decision. Maybe next time. We're not gonna get him. Not right now, anyways. Oh, we got a big contract decision coming in now. What's it gonna be? It's unfortunate. Luis Rigafio signed with the Pirates. It's unfortunate. We're going to go find us another second baseman now. That is not fun. Strom would sign with the Braves. Cease goes to the Padres. Vladimir Guerrero goes to the Giants. Big time third baseman right here. That's just, I don't know. Not, I think right now I'm not interested. I've got to go find me another second baseman that I like. Jorge Mateo. Another pick that wouldn't be too bad. Not great at the plate though. More upside with Brendan Rodgers. He might be our guy. Rocero's a guy I want to look at. Not the greatest year at the plate for him. But Newman's decent. It's probably like a 1-year deal kind of guy though. We'll see how that kind of looks. It's all for 2 years. We'll bump it up just a touch for you there. Enrique Hernandez. Yeah, I think we're gonna roll with this for right now. Got us another attempt here. Welcome to the team, Enrique Hernandez. Our first signing. Nothing flashy, but he feels a need. Zach Gallen would go to the Nationals. Valdez to the Phillies. Josh Naylor is intriguing. Do we go ahead and go for a first baseman? I mean, it's probably the flashiest signing we do in the entire offseason. Would be an upgrade from Andrew Vaughn. I don't know if I'm prepared to spend 14 a mil. I feel like this is something you do when you're trying to go over the edge. I think we're going to hold off on it. I want to develop some more homegrown talent before we go that route. I am, though, potentially looking at signing Shelby Miller. I think he's the relief pitcher we go for. Dylan Moore's ready for a contract. We're going to offer him to bump it up to 6.5 per year. I feel like that's solid for someone of his caliber. Devin Williams signs with the Yankees. Contract decision for Dylan Moore. Maybe next time. All right. Okay. We offered Brendan Rodgers exactly what he's asking for. It looks like the Mariners are trying to come in. That makes me not want to. We'll hold off on Dylan Moore. He just turned down a contract from us. Shelby Miller's not ready for a contract offer, but people are already going after him. Suarez goes to the Rangers. Ooh, decision from Brendan Rodgers. He signed with the Mariners. I don't think Michael King's really in our market, unfortunately. I think we're going to have to let the Twins kind of get him. However, we can offer Dylan Moore. He turned down our last contract, but our interest is up. Motivation signs getting towards the end. I feel like I'm offering less this time. You shouldn't turn me down the first time, you know? Shelby Miller's still building interest. Recommended free agents list here. Kyle Tucker is still available. We've already filled our need at right field. I know Kyle Tucker would be a phenomenal ad, but we just traded for a right fielder, and I don't think we should go after him. Josh Naylor, though, still available. It's just a lot early on. It's hard to turn this down. It really is. I want to go after him. I feel like if we're going to go after first baseman, Lamonte Wade's the guy. I mean, Josh Naylor is hard to pass up here, but I just don't think we're ready to go after that caliber player where it's a 5-year deal. I mean, I feel like it's going to hurt us towards the end of his contract, especially if he doesn't progress anymore. I'm kind of thinking Lamont Wade here or Hunter Harvey. He just wants a 1-year deal. I feel like that would really work out well for us as a relief pitcher. But we're already going after a relief pitcher. We're going to see about Lamont Wade. I like Andrew Vaughn. A little bit more veteran presence might help here. We got the third best odds. So the Reds was another team. I thought the Marlins was the only team that did worse than us, but it would seem the Reds did. But let's see if we can't get us a top 3 pick here. And no, the Blue Jays jump up 6 spots with, worse odds than everybody. That's outrageous. Good for the Blue Jays, but everyone bumps down 1 because of it, and we're going to be picking at the number 4 spot, unfortunately. Looks like Dylan Moore is up to a decision. and he will sign with us to be our second baseman. Ooh, we gotta make a decision now on Lamont Wade. It's just I don't know what to offer him. We'll bump it up just a touch. See if that interests him. Was it enough? It was not. The Reds are going to take him. Let's do the Rule 5 draft real quick. Can I see where it leads us? We'll see what's available out there. Could go after a relief pitcher this way. I'm liking what I'm seeing here. I think this is, yeah. Probably going to be our only Rule 5 pick, but I think that's what we're going to run with there. It's going to be our only one, though, yeah. The Twins is going to get another shot at another one. We're not going to go after him. Let's see. Kyle Tucker's still on the board. Josh Naylor's still there. I mean, it just keeps calling to me. You know what? Should we? Why not? We'll see what his interest is. We'll throw Luis Arrays on there too. Just in case. I doubt we get Josh Naylor. Philly signed Helsley. I gotta offer a contract to Shelby Miller now. I mean, we'll see if he takes it. Yeah, he's gonna sign with the Red Sox. It's fine. Oh, we gotta offer a contract to Arrays. Yeah, that's the best I can do right now. And he signs with us. Was not expecting that. We'll get us a nice little achievement out of that, dude. 2 years, $5 million a year at second base. Add him to the big board. We'll add him to the big board. We'll see. Might not be a bad backup piece for us there. Josh Naylor has absolutely no motivation to sign with us. I mean, at this point, is it even worth going after him? Kyle Tucker would eventually sign with the Dodgers. So we got another possible piece here. Third base. Didn't do bad for the Yankees. I'll offer him a contract, but it's not going to be what he wants. I'm going to lowball it bad. We'll offer him a contract, but it's going to be low. I'm thinking that. Then this gentleman here is perfect for a catcher. Just some depth for us. Lock it all in. See if Cabrera takes it. He does. He took the low offer. Guess he was desperate. See if we can get another one here with a Maya. He does. All right. Nicky Lopez. Yeah. He goes down. That's fine. Wasn't super keen on signing you. And Nicky Lopez takes our second offer. So I think we're good depth-wise. Michael King would sign with the Giants. I didn't know Rosero was still available. I would have signed him over a couple other guys, but I don't need second baseman now. We can make our first offer to Josh Naylor. Just don't know that I'm ready to do it. I may regret it, but I'm gonna wait. Motivation's there to do it too. Should I do it? Do I do it? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's in the cards for us. I'm waiting another week. I mean, the motivation is there. We gotta be top on this board. I mean, just looking at it, we have everything we need. Third base is a liability that would allow people to move around, to give us some depth at some positions. Salaries aren't in a bad spot. I don't know. We're gonna bump it down a little bit. I feel better about this. We'll see if it works. Big contract. Josh Naylor's making his decision. Who is he gonna play ball for? It's the Blue Jays. Similar deal to what we offered, except they put an extra year on it. That's a shame. So we filled out all of our needs positionally. If you look in the right-hand corner right there, I think I'm good with that. We're not going to make any more adjustments. We're not going to sign anybody else. Didn't get anybody major that we went after, but we filled a lot of positional holes for us here. So let's gonna wrap up things here. We are in spring training now. Next time I'll kind of go over what I plan on training people on. We'll probably simp through spring training. Probably won't showcase anybody. We'll just go over stats and kind of, my mentality on what we're going to do, and then we'll definitely showcase the entirety of opening day, and then maybe a few other things. This episode's already gone a little way longer than I wanted to. May break it up into a part 1 and part 2. I don't know yet. it's just a really long episode. I have to see how it kind of looks after I edit it. If I can get it within the time frame I want it, it definitely will be a 1 episode deal. But thanks for watching. Make sure you tune in next time and go White Sox.